Magandang gabi. Let me share to you some guides or tips in writing research introduction. Now, make sure that before you write the introduction, you have already read plenty of related literature and studies about your research topic. Okay? So, in writing your research introduction, here are some tips, no. By the way, different fields uses different structure in writing the introduction. Okay, so in the social sciences, we follow this one. The first line or paragraph of your introduction should not be a cited statement. Ibig sabihin, it must be from your own idea. So wala mo ng reference kasi own idea mo muna yung first statement or first paragraph of your introduction. Next, you present your topic. What's your topic is all about? You provide background information, what is already known. Okay? And provide background or summarize some existing research. Now, in presenting your introduction, it must follow the inverted pyramid then. Kasi in writing our title, we use inverted pyramid. Ibig sabihin, we discuss from the broader perspective down to a very specific or narrow perspective. So ito yung tatandaan natin, no? The inverted pyramid. So we start with a broader perspective. For example, kung ang topic na yan or ang phenomena na yan is ano ba yung condition niya globally in international setting, and then down to the ASEAN setting, ano bang kalagayan ng mga ASEAN countries when it comes to that certain phenomena, and then down to the Philippines. Okay, and then do not worry, no, I will present to you an example later. Okay, so you will really understand how to construct your introduction. And then you also mention why is there a need to conduct the study? Bakit kailangan? Okay, you have to convince the reader that your study is important, your study is significant, and is relevant, and is very useful to solve a problem that is existing in the society. Okay, you have to discuss that one. The need. Why is there a need? Why is your research important? And then you mention the research gap and discuss how your study aims to fill the gaps. Okay, and then somehow you can mention here at least one sustainable development goal. Okay, at least one. Okay, and then you conclude your introduction by presenting the specific objective of your study. Okay, so I will not mention here the title of my research, no, because it was not yet published. And then below, I have here an example based on the tips or the guides that I have discussed a while ago. So here, sinabi ko kanina that the first line or paragraph of your introduction should not be a cited statement. Wala ka munang reference dito. Idea mo muna. For example, my topic pala is about functional illiteracy. Problema yan, di ba? Based on the FLEMS survey, no? Almost 19 million senior high school graduates that is still functionally illiterate. Okay, so this is my introduction. First paragraph, not a cited statement. Okay, it goes like this. In this ever changing world where human capital is vital for the development of every country, functional literacy is crucial for equipping people with essential knowledge to understand and process complex information. In this manner, functionally literate individuals can respond to the changing demands of employment, fulfill their civic obligations, and be competent in adapting to global challenges. Similarly, functionally literate citizen is needed to achieve better production and improve economy, thereby contributing to the country's progress. Okay, so as you notice, the first paragraph is not a cited one, but from the own idea of the writer or the researcher. Okay, let's move on to the tip number two. Present your topic and provide background information. What is known? Okay, so it is like this. Functional illiteracy, or FI, is the inability of an individual to use reading, writing, and calculation skills to actively engage and respond to the call of society despite being literate. Students who have graduated from basic education and even college still struggle to understand simple instructions. These individuals can read and write but cannot comprehend the implication of the text. Moreover, large scale studies describe functionality as the efficient and effective use of reading, writing, and calculating skills to manipulate, understand, and process information that is essential to an individual's everyday functioning within society. So that's according to Belajek et al. 2019. So as you notice, my reference na po ako in presenting my topic based on the writings from Belajek 2019. So important also to remember that our citation should not be, it must be no recent. Okay, so 10 years, uh, 10 years ago. Wag yung ang tagal na. Okay, so if I write my paper in 2025, so dapat I have to get my references from 2015 up. Okay? Next tip, yun yung diniscuss ko kanina na you have to present your idea from a very broader perspective or general to specific. Remember the inverted pyramid. Okay, so example, broader perspective on the problem about functional illiteracy. So, for example, despite the campaign against functional illiteracy, studies have shown that the prevalence of this issue is occurring globally. Okay, so that is the international condition about functional illiteracy. So, the Program for International Student Assessment, or PISA, an international standardized assessment developed by the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, or OECD, regularly conducts assessment to evaluate the level of performance of students in applying what they have learned to achieve full participation in the society. Consequently, 81 countries took part in the recent 2022 assessment. That's according to OECD 2022. Okay, so I have presented the condition of the problem, which is functional illiteracy in an international setting. Ano na ba yung kalagayan ng problema na yan internationally? And then we go down to the ASEAN. Okay? So, similarly, the ASEAN member nations are underperforming and have shown unsatisfactory results in the latest PISA assessment, thus also experiencing significant learning poverty. PISA's holistic perspective provides important information about the strengths and weaknesses of educational systems across countries, hence, helping policymakers, educators, and stakeholders improve teaching and learning practices worldwide. Okay, so ASEAN na tayo. And then we go down to the narrow perspective in the Philippines. Ano ba yung kondisyon ng functional illiteracy dito sa ating bansa? Okay, so we go down to the Philippines. In the Philippines, the functional literacy, education, and mass media or FLEMS has laid down its findings, which also indicated that 18.96 million Filipinos are still functionally illiterate. So ito yung kalagayan sa Pilipinas. So this means that students have completed the basic education curriculum but struggle to comprehend text effectively. So I hope you have now in your mind how to present ideas from a general idea down to the very specific one. Okay, now mention in your introduction the need, right? Why is there a need to conduct the study? Okay, this will arouse no the interest of the readers. Why is it important? Okay, so such limitation have profound implication for day-to-day life, including procuring and retaining employment and are most likely to experience financial difficulties. Okay, that's according to Vagvolgi et al. 2016. So based on the study conducted by FLEMS in 2024, the observed occurrence of functional illiteracy was most prevalent in Visayas, followed by Mindanao and Luzon. So you have to support some studies. Okay? And then furthermore, Ibarra and Ikimi 2021 asserted that education and the mastery of the needed literacy are vital in the fight against poverty. So you have presented the need. There is really a need to conduct the study on this certain issue, which is functional illiteracy, because it can affect the lives of graduates. And it is also the combat or to fight functional illiteracy is vital also in the fight against poverty. So that is the need why we need to conduct the study. Okay. All right. So you also have to mention at least one sustainable development goal. Okay, so correspondingly, this study supports Sustainable Development Goal 4.6 that goes by 2030 ensure all youth and a substantial proportion of adults, both men and women, achieve literacy and numeracy. So, this objective can be achieved by thoroughly investigating the factors or the causes contributing to illiteracy. So, you have mentioned one sustainable or SDG, Sustainable Growth Development. Okay, now you mentioned the gaps. Discuss how your study aims to fill the gaps. Okay, so achieving a genuine solution requires identifying the causes through numerous research studies, which enable a critical examination of the problem using empirical data. So, this study will investigate the factors. I have four independent variables. Which of these factors causes or which of these factors has a high impact level to functional illiteracy? Okay, and you may conclude your introduction by presenting the objective of your study. Okay, so hence, this study will delve into the deeper causes of functional illiteracy, supported by data from experts in the field, school administrators, and teachers. Lastly, this study aims to determine which of the variables has I have four variables has the most significant impact on functional illiteracy. Okay, so by the way, I have not mentioned the title and also the independent variable again because this paper was not yet published. Okay, and then for the format, we use the Times New Roman font style, and then the size is 12, and then double space. Okay, so I have just enlarged the letters here so that you can read. All right, so going back to wrap this up, these guides or tips in writing research introduction. So first line or first paragraph should not be a cited statement. And then you present your topic and provide background information, what is known about your topic, supported with previous researches. And then you present your idea from a general to specific, broader perspective down to the narrow perspective. So from international setting to ASEAN setting and to Philippine setting. And then you also have to mention there the need. Why is there a need to conduct a study? You mentioned some of your research problem. I have not mentioned, but you have to mention some of your research problem and then explain why is it important, and then why is it important to investigate, why is it important to solve that problem, and then present the research gap, and then discuss how your study aims to fill the gaps, and then mention at least one SDG, and then you may conclude the introduction by presenting the specific objective of your study. Okay?